Hello everyone, I am Aryan Singh, a student of class 8. Welcome to our biology presentation. The topic of our discussion is crops production and management. The contents of our presentation are: number 1, crops and types of crops; number 2, preparation of soil; number 3, sowing; number 4, adding manure and fertilizer; number 5, irrigation; number 6, harvesting; number 7, storage of food grains; and number 8, conclusion. Now I request our group member Brihat Shah to tell something about crops and types of crops. Thank you.
Thank you, Aryan. Hello everyone, my name is Briyacha. Now I am going to tell something about crops. When the same kind of plants are grown in the field on a large scale for obtaining food, then they are called crops. There are two types of crops. Kharif crops, the crops that are sown in the rainy seasons, are called kharif crops. Some examples of kharif crops are paddy, soybeans, etc. Rabi crops, the crops that are grown in the winter season, are called rabi crops. Example of rabi crops are wheat, gram. Now I am going to tell about preparation of soil. Preparation of soil needs three processes. They are plugging, which is the process of loosening and turning the soil; leveling, the plugged soil is leveled by pressing it with a wooden leveler so that the top soil is not blown away by wind or drained off by water. Manuring means adding manure to the soil. It is done to increase the fertility of the soil before seeds are sown into it. Now our group member Ranadeep Pal will throw light upon another important aspect of crop production and management. Thank you.
Thank you, Brihat. Hello, I am Ranadeep Pal. I am going to tell you about sowing, the methods and precautions taken for sowing seeds, adding manures and fertilizers, and irrigation. Sowing is the process of scattering the seeds in the fields with our hands or other implements. Before sowing, selection of good quality seeds are very important. There are two methods of sowing seeds. One is by hand and the other with a seed drill. The process of sowing the seeds with hand is called broadcasting and is not a much proper way for sowing the seeds, whereas the seeds sown with a seed drill places them at proper spaces, which is essential for the. Now here are some precautions to be taken while sowing the seeds. The seeds should be placed at right depth and with proper spacing, otherwise the crop seeds can be eaten by the birds and will not get enough sunlight to grow. The seeds should also not be sown in dry soil or in a much wet soil. In both the cases, the seeds will not be able to germinate. Our next topic is adding manures and fertilizers. Due to repeated growing of plants in a field, the soil becomes infertile and loses a lot of precious mineral elements, organic matter, and other materials from the soil. The deficiency of plant nutrients and organic matter in the soil is made up by adding manures and fertilizers. Irrigation. The process of supplying water to the crop plants is called irrigation. Irrigation is necessary because it makes the soil soft, which makes plowing easier. It provides moisture for the seed to germinate. It protects the crop plants from hot air currents and frosts. Now my group member Sumaya will continue the rest.
Hello everyone, my name is Sumaya. Here I will discuss some important method of irrigation. There are two important methods of irrigation: sprinkling system and dripping system. In sprinkling system, there is a main pipeline is laid in the field. Perpendicular pipes changing rotating nozzles at the top are joined to the main pipeline at regular interval. When water from tube well is allowed to flow through the main pipeline, it escapes from the rotating nozzles, sprinkling the water from the cropland. This system is useful for sandy soil and uneven soil land. In dripping system, there is a network of narrow pipe with small holes in the field. It's near the roots of the crop. When water flows through the narrow pipes, it falls drop by drop at the root of the plant and hence absorbed and utilized by them. The system is the best technique for watering fruits, plant and garden. It prevents water wastage and minimize water uses in agriculture. Now I will tell you something about harvesting. The cutting and the gathering of the method food is called harvesting. Here the crop like wheat or rice are cut close to the ground by hand using cutting tools called sickle. This method is called manual harvesting. In large field, wheat and paddy crops are cut by a motorized machine called harvester. After harvesting the crop, the grain is separated from the harvester. Crop plant by beating out the grain. This is called threshing. After threshing, the grain is separated from the chaff. With the help of wind is called winnowing. Now Rishi Shettia will tell you something about storage of food grains.
Thank you, Sumaya. Hello everyone, my name is Rishi Shettia and I am going to explain the topic storage of food grains. Food grains obtained by the harvesting of crops contains more moisture than required for their safe storage. The food grains are sun-dried to reduce their moisture for their storage. At home, the food grains are stored in metal bins, jute bags and dried neem leaves are also used. The large scale of food grains are stored in gunny bags and grain silos. So, I would like to conclude this presentation by saying that the crop production and management is a simple and scientific process of food production where every facet of plant growth for food is taken into consideration and hence the element for dependence on nature is minimized through uses of advanced irrigation facilities, etc. So, I would like to thank all the members of this group who helped in making this presentation. We would also like to thank the respected teachers, dear friends and all other viewers who spent their precious time to watch this presentation. Members of the group, Aryan Singh, Briyat Shah, Rana Dipal, Sumaya Begum and me, Rishi Sethia. Thank you.